Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how I do my really smooth zoom out warp transitions. I put an example at the beginning of the video so you know what you're doing, I guess. So let's just jump right into it. So I have my two clips right here. They're green so that it's easy to follow. The first thing I always do is I scale them down and position them however I want, and then I just pre-compose them just to make everything a lot easier. So I'm gonna right click, pre-compose, and make sure that this is selected, hit OK, and do the same thing with the other one. So that way, when I move this clip, zoom out or whatever, it's like a square, you know? And the second thing I do is that I add motion tile, just because it's very important, because otherwise it's not gonna look as good. You can obviously do this without motion tile too if you're just looking for that type of style, but in my case, that's not what I do. So we're gonna go ahead and mirror the edges as well, and there we go. And the second thing I do is enable motion blur. Very important. If you didn't watch my last video, I do have some motion blur settings that I'm gonna show you right now. If you go to composition settings and then advanced, I have mine at 720, which is like the biggest that it can go up to. I think that's the highest number, and it just makes the motion blur look even smoother. Stay hydrated. All right, so now that we've made our two clips, pre-composed them, put motion tile and motion blur enabled, all is good, all is well, our clips are prepped and ready to go. We're gonna do our zoom, and so let's say we want to zoom out right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do scale first. I'm going to put the keyframe like right here, but just so that I can see how much I'm doing, I'm just gonna, I don't know, do maybe around 50. I really just eyeball this every time and then just drag it like one frame after the clip ends, because it's gonna look so much better. Highlight them, right click, keyframe assistant, and easy ease, then go into your graph editor, and it looks like this. Sometimes I like to zoom in or out depending on what it looks like, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drag this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so sometimes this looks good. I do this differently pretty much every time because I like the uniqueness of it, I guess, just doing it. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. All right, let's just see how this looks. Okay, I hate that, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag this a little bit further up here and see what that looks like. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. That looks pretty good. And so as you can see, if I did that, like put the keyframe right here, it's gonna look like that, which I don't like. So, I mean, you can even put it like that, but I prefer it like right here. You know, it's up to you, honestly. So now that we have that little bump in and then out, we're gonna go ahead and zoom out here. Just close that up, and then keyframe and drag this position over here, and then put it to maybe around 200. Keyframe assistant, easy ease, you know we already did this. And then put the graph like so, and see what that looks like. It looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. So, sometimes I like to do that, but I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm just gonna leave the keyframe right there because I think it looks good. And now that we have kind of like our base, we're gonna go ahead and add the warp. So what I like to do is I like to just put, drag it across until it starts zooming out. So it's about right here. And then I go to layer, new, adjustment layer, and then I cut it, Control Shift D, or Command Shift D if you're on Mac, just like that. And now you have a little adjustment layer right here. So make sure to enable motion blur on that as well, because it's very important. And then we're gonna go ahead and search up warp. This is what I do every single time with all of my zoom outs, just saying. I'm kind of addicted to this. Then we're gonna go ahead and put fish eye on the warp style and put it to 0, and click the little stopwatch and go all the way to the end and drag it all the way down to -100. And then open our effects tab, highlight them, keyframe assistant, all that jazz. And then I'm actually just gonna go to speed because I prefer speed with this, and just drag it like that, like so. And this is what it's gonna look like. Wowee. Sometimes I feel like it's too long and I just drag it a little bit further to get that like sharp look to it. So we're gonna see how this looks. Okay, I definitely prefer that because I like my transitions to be very fast. And then if you want, you can also add some optics compensation to this. I don't do this every time, but you can. Oops, okay, we're gonna go ahead and hit reverse lens thing. And then, I don't even know, man. Then we're gonna put it to around 100. I eyeball this every time, like I said. And then back to 0. And let's just see what it looks like without the graph editor. Okay, it looks pretty good, but as I already mentioned, I do want it to be a little bit sharper. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight, easy ease, go into the graph editor. I'm gonna go back to value graph now and just kind of make it a little bit faster. Okay, I'm very happy about that. Now, you might be wondering, but Cass, your transitions don't look like this at all. What do you mean? They look so much smoother. And that is because I use wiggle on all my edits, all of them, because I'm obsessed and it looks so much better. So I'm gonna click on my top clip, and then I'm gonna go to layer, new, and then adjustment layer, and I'm gonna have it covering the entire edit. Okay, let's say this was my entire edit for the purpose of this video. And then I'm gonna go search wiggle, and I'm gonna be exposing my wiggle settings right now. So okay, so I like to put this at 1.8 for the wiggle speed, and this varies from 30 to 50, but I'm gonna see what it looks like with 50. Then I'm gonna drag a rotation on here, and I'm gonna put it down to 3, and I'm gonna change the speed to 1.5, and I'm gonna enable motion blur on that as well. So let's see what it looks like. And there we go. Okay, so if you don't like how fast it's going, you can obviously change it to like 0.8. I mean, I eyeball it every time. Like, this looks pretty cute. Or I can change it back to like 1 and put it to 30. You really just play around with it every time until you find what you like. I'm gonna put 1.8 and I'm gonna leave it at 30 and see what that looks like. I'm happy with that. So, as you can probably tell, there's a little tiny black line right here, and I'm a perfectionist, so I noticed that. And how to get rid of that is just put up scale on your warp adjustment layer and put it to 99, and it's gone. And that's what I do. And another thing I do is I add curves to every single one of my clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and find curves, put it on here. It's pretty much like a glow. Click the stopwatch and then go 1, 2, 3 frames, and then drag it up pretty far, honestly, and then go to the very end of the clip and drag it back down. So this is what it looks like. Very cute. And now I'm gonna repeat the process on this side. Stopwatch, 1, 2, 3 frames, drag it up, go all the way to the end and drag it back down. Ta-da! Friggin' cute! Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and comment some requests if you have any, or just anything. If you had any water today. If so, how many glasses did you have? And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye everybody, happy editing.